All right, let's talk about something that's absolutely key to pretty much all academic and creative work: giving credit where it's due. Now, you might know it by its more, intimidating name, plagiarism. But let's try to think about it differently. This isn't just about avoiding trouble, it's about learning how to join a huge, ongoing conversation of ideas and doing it with integrity. So let's jump in.
Here's the game plan. We're going to break down what plagiarism actually is, why it's such a big deal, exactly when you need to give credit, how to do it properly, and then we'll finish up with one simple golden rule that's going to make your life a whole lot easier.
And hey, one really important thing before we get going: you are not alone in this. You're not just supposed to know all this stuff automatically. Your professors, the librarians at your college, they are your go-to experts. Seriously, they're the best resource you have for figuring out research and citations, so don't ever hesitate to ask for help.
Okay, first things first. What in the world is plagiarism, really? Let's start with the official definition to make sure we're all on the same page.
So, here it is, straight from the SUNY Schenectady Academic Code: the intentional or unintentional representation of another person's work as one's own. Now, the word I really want you to focus on there is unintentional. That's huge. It means plagiarism isn't always about someone trying to cheat. It can happen by accident, which is exactly why getting a handle on these rules is so important.
So, what does this actually look like? Well, it could be as simple as quoting or summarizing someone's work and just forgetting to mention where it came from, or maybe using some data from another person's research without citing it. And then, of course, you've got the most obvious one: turning in a paper that someone else wrote.
Ultimately, all of these examples, they all fall under one really big, important concept. They're a violation of academic integrity. And that idea is actually even bigger and more fundamental than just plagiarism.
Think of academic integrity as the bedrock of all learning and research. It's basically a promise, right? It means the work you submit is yours, and when you use the ideas of other people, which, let's be honest, is the whole point of research, you just make sure you give them proper credit for their work. Okay, so we've got the what. Now for the really big question: why is this such a big deal? Let's dig into the stakes and the principles behind it all. First, let's just get it out of the way. It's the question that's probably on your mind. If it happens, intentionally or not, what are the actual consequences? Well, the consequences can be pretty serious, and they often get worse. It might just start with a warning, but that can easily become a 0 on the assignment, which could lead to failing the whole course or even facing formal disciplinary action from the college. So, yeah, the stakes are real, and it's something you definitely want to avoid.
But you know what? Just avoiding trouble is only scratching the surface here. There are much deeper and, frankly, more positive reasons why giving credit matters so much. Giving credit, at its heart, is about respect. It's acknowledging the hard work someone else put in. Plus, it creates a trail for other people to follow. It lets them find your sources, check your work, and build on your ideas. So you see, you're not just covering your own bases, you're being a good citizen in this whole world of ideas.
Okay, we've nailed the what and the why. Now it's time to get super practical. When exactly do you need to stick a citation in your work? This is actually way simpler than it sounds. Step 1, if you use someone's exact words word for word, you have to cite it, no question. Step 2, and this is the one that sometimes gets people: if you use someone else's idea but you put it in your own words, that's called paraphrasing, you still have to cite it. And finally, step 3 is your ultimate safety net. If you have any doubt at all, even a tiny bit, just cite it. All right, we're almost there. We know when to cite, so now let's talk about how to do it. It really breaks down into 2 main parts that work together. So, the first part is the in-text citation. Think of it like a little signpost, right there in your paper, right where you use the information. The second part is your bibliography or works cited page. That's the big list at the very end of your paper, with all the details for every source you used. They're a team. The little signpost in your text points the reader to the full info in your bibliography. Now, the specific format for all these citations depends on something called a style guide. You've probably heard of the big 3: APA, MLA, and Chicago. The most important thing here is to always check your assignment or ask your instructor which style they want you to use. They'll tell you exactly what you need to do. We have covered a lot of ground here, from definitions and consequences all the way to the nuts and bolts of how to cite. But if you remember only one single thing from all of this, let it be what's on this next slide:
This, my friends, is the golden rule.
This quote comes from a group of researchers, and it is truly the only rule you'll ever need. When in doubt about citing or not citing a source, always cite it. It is never wrong to cite your sources. That's it. That simple principle is your key to writing with confidence, with integrity, and making sure your work is a valuable and honest part of the conversation.